This is the eCommerce Edge podcast with your host, Jason Greenwood. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of The Pod. It is my absolute pleasure to welcome Brian PHAM from Litecard to the podcast. Welcome, Brian.
Morning, Jason. Thanks for having me today.
Appreciate you taking time to be on the pod with me today. And you're based in the mighty city of Melbourne in Victoria, Australia, right?
Yeah, freezing cold, but it's an amazing city, so very grateful to be here.
Yeah, no, it's a cool city. I've got quite a few Kiwi mates that actually live in Melbourne. It's definitely a very popular city for Kiwis to shoot across to.
It seems like that, yeah.
Yeah, and have you always lived in Melbourne? Have you lived in other parts of Australia too?
I was born in Melbourne, but through my young adult life, I actually spent almost 3 years in Japan. So it was great to get a bit of cross-border knowledge.
Yeah, I did actually see that in your LinkedIn profile there that you had spent a fair bit of time in Australia and you'd actually built a business there and done a couple of other things there. omni-channel. So I guess that leads me into my next question is, before we even start talking about Litecard, how did you get into the tech space? You started out IT support specialist, then you moved up to product owner at One Next, and then basically have been running businesses ever since early 2020 with omni-channel, and then CorpLite, and now Litecard. So what drew you into this sort of tech entrepreneurship space? What was the draw?
Yeah, I just always had a theory that the more things you challenge yourself with as fast as you can, the more you learn. And I think so many people out there are trying to really live life to the fullest, and that's what it means for me. So it starts with that sort of attraction, and then starting to really read deep into how technology is changing the world and following the fascinations from there.
So it was scratching an itch, so to speak. But now, with Litecard, we think of it as it's a digital wallet, so it's a fintech platform. Why fintech? What was the big attraction with fintech? What was out there in the market that you saw? Either there's a gap in the market, or I don't really like what's out here in the market. I think I can do it better. There's lots of platforms and technologies now that offer digital wallet technology, especially inside of things like membership platforms, loyalty platforms. And then, of course, we've got Apple and Google offering their own digital wallet services, their own payment rails, etc., that you can basically plug in on the back end your own credit cards and debit cards into. And obviously when we saw the crash of crypto and Web3 full stop, culminating in, of course, the FTX debacle, a lot of fintech players just disappeared and into the woodwork. So what drew you to fintech? Okay, can you hear me?
We're in.
Okay, I can hear you. Great. Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Okay, great. Okay, cool. We'll pick up where we left off. So why fintech, and why now in particular, especially after the FTX implosion and the crypto implosion? And given that there are so many platforms out there that offer digital wallet services, the Apples, the Googles of the world, etc., what made you think there's a gap in the market for another fintech player and I'm going to be that player?
So what we actually are is a digital infrastructure for retail brands to access Apple and Google Wallet technology. I think what Apple, Google, Samsung have done with their, super app, let's call it, all embedded into the phone's operating system is amazing. And there's a huge opportunity now, because I think something like 98% of recorded transactions are now done through the mobile wallet in Australia. It's huge. And you've got 4 and 5 people using this platform every single day. But there's a lot of things that retailers aren't doing, and that's where Litecard comes in. The way it began was a little bit of a frustration. I think so many people are carrying around physical cards, whether it be around loyalty, coupons and vouchers, tickets, and then just asking ourselves, like, there must be a better way. And I think, like most founders, a problem gives them the ick, and then they try and look into it a little bit further and go, there's actually not a better way to do it, and here are all the reasons why, and then tackling that.
And so specifically, what does Litecard facilitate and enable that something like Apple Pay, Google Pay, the other digital wallets out there, what uniquely does Litecard bring to the table that these other payment systems just don't do today?
Yeah, so what we actually facilitate for a lot of brands and retailers is the provision of offers into the mobile wallet, as well as your membership cards and your loyalty cards. And the reason why you don't see a lot of that today is because it's hard to get everything to talk to each other, whether it's in your Salesforce, your point of sale, your e-commerce. And so more often than not, we're connecting into, I guess, the back-end infrastructure of a lot of retailers and brands out there to issue at mass and acquire customers through the mobile wallet. So in many ways, it's omni-channel marketing for retailers, but it's actually like a real another channel. So yeah.
And so would the customer of these retail brands, would they know the platform as Litecard, or would they see effectively that they are dealing with the retailer's brand, or they have a balance in their digital wallet service? It's almost like a sub wallet underneath the Google Wallet or underneath the Apple Wallet. How functionally speaking does this integrate with retailers? How then do they extend these services to their customers?
So let's look at a alcohol brand, for example, or a confectionery brand. These companies are spending a lot of money, from what we've seen, tens up to hundreds of millions of dollars a year to advertise their products, whether it be new products or promotions. And the fact is they can't run these offers into retailers because the retailer controls their own ecosystem. And any times that they've tried, they've issued, let's just say, like a barcode or a code out to people at mass via email, and they can't engage, they can't track, and they can't convert people back into store. What Litecard does is we help these brands facilitate mass promotions and offers to all their EDM base, people that have consumed their content and media online, and then provide them the ability to just download a mobile wallet pass in one touch and then convert it in store. What makes our platform a little bit special is that at times when we convert these coupon wallet passes, they can tap them on point of sale or various hardware in store. They don't even have to unlock their phones.
And so
just removing the friction.
And so is the idea behind Litecard that this would be a service mainly for manufacturing brands, meaning that they're I don't know, it's a tequila brand, it's a bourbon brand, it's a Jim Beam, say, for example, and they want to extend a promotion that's universal across all their retailers. They want to effectively give them a walletized credit and say, look, let's give you a positive balance against the Jim Beam digital wallet service, and we're going to give you a balance on there of $50 or $20 or whatever it is. And then effectively now I've got a positive balance, and instead of having my credit or debit card linked to my Apple Wallet or my Google Wallet, now I've got my Jim Beam balance linked to my Google Wallet or my Apple Wallet, and now I can spend that in store as if it was a credit card or debit card linked to my wallet. Is that effectively the user experience that you're looking to create?
Look, in a way, that is the user experience that we do provide. And a lot of the times it's not just the balance, right? It's a SKU level promotion. It's a buy one, get one free. It's a multi-pack discount. It's a dollar value off, but sometimes it's a percentage value off. So it really depends on the nature of the brand and the promotion. A lot of brands that we work out there, they don't even do promotions. They're just looking for a mobile wallet experience to capture new customers, increase app downloads, bring foot traffic into store, and use it as a way to conduct, let's just say, beyond pack or beyond price innovation. I think at the forefront of it, what Litecard aims to do is create what we call a mobile wallet customer experience. And it unlocks a whole lot of ways that a retailer or a brand can create value for their customers and actually bring them into store, engage them. Because so many times you're forced to download the app, you're forced to carry around a physical card. There's not many other options out there. There's 155,000 retail brands in Australia, and you've got this mobile wallet experience in probably less than 10 or 15 of them.
And what I've seen also is that digital wallets are used for much more than just discounts or coupons or a digital balance of some variety. They can also hold things like tickets for a concert, for example. I pay for my ticket online. Okay, cool. Now I want to have this ticket loaded into my digital wallet, my Google Wallet or my Apple Wallet. And therefore, when I get to the venue, for example, when I open up the ticket in the wallet, now it's got the QR code, for example, that's scannable at the entry to where I can just digitally scan myself in. And then effectively, it shows that's been consumed in my wallet. I've used that ticket for entry, and now it's no longer valid for re-entry, for example, unless I go back out again and I get it revalidated for re-entry. And so it feels like digital wallets are becoming digital representations of many things other than just money. Because when people hear the term digital wallet, they think, okay, this is a digital version of money, right? This is a pure digital version of money that no physical cash changes hands. But digital wallets are so much more than that now, and they have so many more use cases other than just a transactional value.
Yeah, I totally agree. I think the term digital twin really applies to what Apple, Google, and Samsung are doing inside their wallets, all the way from car keys to hotel keys to membership passes, right? I think a really cool case study that one of our clients or ISVs slash resellers is using our platform for is the ability to issue what's like a coupon, but really a entry pass into a gym, right? And what they've been able to do is they've been able to increase revenues for so many gyms across Australia because there was no self-serve. I can securely store this coupon or mobile wallet pass inside my wallet after hours. And then they go into a leisure center and then tap it on a door to access certain parts. So it's really interesting what the mobile wallet industry is enabling across the world.
And is it your vision to, because obviously, like I said, I've bought coupons. I think the ticket, it may have been through Ticketmaster or something like that. I can't remember. And that's the ticket that got put into that I could store in my digital wallet. And even nowadays, some airlines have it to where you can put your ticket, you can insert your ticket into your Google Wallet or your Apple Wallet. And what is it that's unique about Litecard, I suppose, about that makes this different for a brand, a retailer, whatever it might be? How and why would they choose to work with Litecard as opposed to simply making their tickets or their coupons or their QR codes or whatever it is Google Wallet compatible or Apple Wallet compatible? Or is it your vision that's actually exactly what Litecard provides? It provides that compatibility with those platforms so that they no longer have to think about how to inject this value, this store of value, because it's a store of value of some kind, whether it's a discount, whether it's a coupon, whether it's buy one, get one. We can think of the digital wallet as a store of value of some kind. It's a representation of value. And so is it your vision that effectively you're lowering the barrier to entry for these retailers or manufacturing brands to get into a digital wallet system?
No, that's exactly right. And that's why we put a big emphasis on that we're in digital infrastructure for this technology. And that was our hypothesis 1 or 2 years ago, and it's been proven. I think so many large retailers out there are like, we've tried this, it hasn't worked. We want to do what this other company is doing. And we've been looking for a digital wallet partner, and it's very timely. And I think as large organizations, whether it be brand or retailer, start to further invest into digital marketing, omni-channel, creative ways to acquire new customers, increase revenue across multiple sites, they're looking at ways to increase effectiveness of, let's say, an app or their EDM database, or how much they're spending on Snapchat or TikTok. And our goal is to really specialize in that retail activation for a brand. So let's just say you have a moisturizer and you want to run a promotion and you're spending a lot of money into your monthly advertising. You can't issue a mobile wallet pass and then ingest it into a pharmacy. We've got those pre-made integrations where you could basically turn it on next week. And as I said, it's hard getting those things to work together. And there are so many brands across the world, and there are so many brands looking at this investment.
And so is it because you have pre-integrated with point of sale systems, terminal systems, or pre-integrated with Apple Wallet and Google Wallet? Which of those three, or is it all three, that makes this more easily adoptable by brands and retailers, where basically whatever kind of system they're running at their point of sale, for example, you can work with it? Is it a combination of those three that makes this ecosystem work, facilitated by you as the rails, the plumbing in between that ties it all together?
Yeah, it's a really good way of thinking about it, and I totally agree. Oh, what's really interesting is that so many point of sale companies out there have open APIs. They actually can facilitate, you can build this, but it's building all the other infrastructure around that, like how do I scale my mobile wallet platform? How do I issue these passes at scale? And then automate the life cycle of them, as well as have that enhanced insights and functionality around them. Yeah, I think just connecting everything together is usually the hardest part. And that's why large brands invest into other platforms that specialize in this rather than trying to build it themselves.
And so when you're, let's say it's a coupon code or it's a discount code or whatever it might be, is it obviously, if it's just a simple store of value, a balance value that's you're eligible for $20 off on these SKUs, then presumably that will be through these standard communication channels of Apple Pay and Google Pay with the standard terminal systems in ANZ, for example, then obviously you can tap and go, right? Like you got NFC, you got near field communications with your phone, and as long as it works with the terminal and as long as it knows the value of the amount that's effectively being transferred from, in this case, Jim Beam to the retailer, then Bob's your uncle, and it all just works because the balance is being transferred effectively from Jim Beam's account to the merchant account. And that's happening through the standard terminal system of that these brands all deploy right throughout the whole of ANZ. And so where does the integration with a point of sale, for example, start to become critical? Is it when we move away from a straight dollar value discount transaction and we're now moving to a buy one, get one, or we're moving to some other form of exchange of value here other than a straight cash for cash transaction? Is that where this integration with the concept of these discounts and promotions needing to live in the point of sale, so it's recognized in the point of sale when this coupon is redeemed, and then it becomes redeemable across all the retailers that carry that SKU?
Yeah, it really depends. It depends on the ecosystem and infrastructure within the retailer. A lot of the times, a retailer has the existing infrastructure where we can issue what we call codes. And there'd be like hundreds of thousands of codes issued per month, depending on how long the promotion or offer goes for. And then it also depends on the existing infrastructure in store. Is it a 2D barcode scanner? How many payment terminals do they have? What point of sale? How does the point of sale react? But I think from our time in the industry, we're seeing a lot of similarities and these functionalities start to converge, right? When one point of sale has the ability to ingest promotions and then feed that data back to a third-party platform, it seems like a lot of other point of sale are starting to move that way as well. But the most rewarding part about this is that sometimes the brands are the retailers as well. So you may have like Pandora Jewelry, which is a brand and also a retailer, but there are so many brands out there doing really well. And the more we talk to them, we see that they're run by 2, 3, or 4 or 5 people businesses, and all they do is branding, supply and demand, and then distribution. They're not really looking to build an app because they're stocking so many retailers, but there are so many brands. So if they had a way to turnkey switch on something that's so easy within all of their ecosystem already of digital marketing, let's say, without burden to legacy systems within point of sale or retailers, like it's a huge win for them.
And are you seeing that QR codes are becoming one of the main ways in which you're getting this exchange of value happening in a really seamless way? Obviously, the whole world got used to using QR codes were dead on the vine until COVID came along, and then everybody got used to, apart from Asia. Obviously, Asia has always been big on QR codes, but at least in the West anyway, QR codes were dead and buried, and then COVID came along and everybody had to scan in freaking everywhere. And then all of a sudden everybody goes, oh, geez, okay, we understand what this whole QR code shadazzle is. And so have you found like a resurrection of the QR code as opposed to just a standard barcode or whatever it might be, that this now is becoming a primary integration point into a lot of these systems?
I think the mass adoption within QR codes inside Australia definitely played a big part in contactless and then people's behavioral change, as well as motivating even the growth of our business. But to be fair, one of the most exciting parts about what I'm able to do every day, I'm more like a sales engineer speaking to clients. And when we show them how easy it is to do like a tap RFID or NFC offer into a point of sale, it's literally like you have a small reader the size of your AirPods case and you plug it in via USB-A or USB-C. And whatever number or code that you're scanning your QR code or barcode for, you mimic that number going straight into the point of sale without anyone even having to unlock their phone. It's so simple. And when you show big retailers, it blows their mind. They're like, you can do that? If you're thinking about the large FMCG retail grocery stores, or even small home goods stores that have like fast moving and large lines, to be able to enable that for them where they don't have to unlock their phone, they don't have to wait around, go, what's your email, what's your phone number, and do all these sort of things, plus get all the benefits of a mobile wallet platform, seeming pretty good.
And how do you overcome the challenge where somebody may have a coupon code for a specific discount or whatever it might be, buy one, get one, whatever, and that code is then available in an omni-channel way, so I can log into the brand's website or the retailer's website, whatever. I can then put in the coupon code and I can get the discount at checkout or whatever the bonus is. But at point of sale systems always have radically different capabilities in terms of promotions and discounts to what e-commerce platforms do. And that's always been a challenge, and that's always been a problem. Obviously, if you're running Shopify online and then you're running Shopify POS, then that's all pretty straightforward and pretty easy, because all of the promotional apps that plug into Shopify, 99% of them all also work with Shopify POS, and then you can have harmonious promotions running across all of those and plugged into your wallet system to drive and unify that across the physical retail experience. But when you're running let's say you're running Retail Express, and then let's say you're running Shopify online, Retail Express is really limited in the types of promotions that you can run versus the types of promotional apps that you can run on top of Shopify. So how do you bridge that gap? Because oftentimes, even though you might want to run a promotion in an omni-channel way with your physical stores and online, it's just almost an impossibility, because what each system can handle and digest and process at point of sale is very different.
Yeah, absolutely. It's come a long way. And I feel like Australia has much higher volume of point of sale companies that exist here compared to the rest of the world, which strangely enough, because we're such a small population. But I think we rely on a lot of ISVs and partners. I think probably 65% of our revenue at the moment comes through ISVs, which are the people who integrate between multiple point of sale systems and technology resellers of point of sale systems, so as payment terminals and various retail technology as well. So we do rely on our amazing partners to be able to ingest a promotion inside the online as well as the in-store activations, and then gather that data and feed it back into our platform or the retailer, which they usually are already doing anyway.
Yeah, I just find that most retailers that are not running Shopify, they don't run the same promotions in store that they do online, because they can't. The vast majority of retailers, they say, okay, we've got these in-store promotions and got online promotions. Some of them may overlap. The ones that are like straight discount, okay, cool, original price, sale price, that's easy. You can do that in every platform. But where we get more creative, where we've got catalog price rules and shopping cart price rules online that are very complex, could be multimodal, they can be cascading rule sets. So there could be prioritized discounts depending on a cart composition, et cetera, online. And that can get really complex really fast. Whereas in store, usually there's like straight price, sale price, and then there's maybe buy one, get one, or maybe there's a gift with purchase, or maybe there's 2 or 3 different discount modalities available through standard retail POS systems, and never the twain shall meet. So I guess what you're saying is that the system integrators that, for example, if they're the agency that's doing the system integration on behalf of a retail brand, that they'll have some sort of translation and middleware that will translate these discounts between systems that don't have equivalents inside them.
Most of the time, yes. And what's really interesting is that we're seeing a lot of retailers start to aggregate as well. People who are on RetailX or Apparel 21, we're seeing a lot of move towards Shopify.
Yeah, and I guess that's the opportunity that Shopify is capitalizing on, is the fact that there is so many retail POS systems out there, and many of them don't even have APIs, or the way that they integrate are so hyper custom that they're really hard to crack into. And they've done that on purpose because they want to own the whole entire retail experience. And I'm seeing that as a big opportunity for Shopify to capitalize on that fragmentation in the point of sale market. But I guess what you're saying is there's still, for a long time to come, there's going to be massive opportunity for system integrators to be the glue that ties all that together. Because I remember when I was at HealthPost, we had to create a custom integration between NetSuite website and point of sale Vend, because we're running Vend in the retail store, running NetSuite as our ERP, and then we're running initially Magento and then latterly BigCommerce online. And so when we had loyalty points that were translated into equivalents in the point of sale system, and even store credits and even refund balances and things like that, we had to have a translator that sat in the middle and converted it to the equivalent in each platform, so that when somebody came in store and maybe they had a store credit and they redeemed that, then that would be taken off their store credit balance in the web store and their web store account, and vice versa. And the same with loyalty. We had to translate loyalty points in the retail system in the way that it captured and spent those and redeemed those. We had to have a translator in there. And then ultimately what was the master of this data was the ERP. We had custom fields against the customer's account in the ERP, and the master was always the ERP. So that basically we had these custom attributes, these custom field-based attributes of their store credit balance, their loyalty balance, and anything else that we were storing against their account. the ERP became the master, and then everything integrated with that, and that's where the translation layer sat, was in the integration in the middle.
Yeah, no, I can definitely see that.
And is that something that you're seeing? Because now, instead of just having loyalty balances, store credit balances, we have coupon codes, we have all sorts of different promotions, I'm guessing, that people want to run through your digital wallet service that maybe they have never even thought of before. And so does your system, I'm guessing, in that scenario, becomes the single source of truth around those types of promotions? Hey team, I have a big favor to ask you. Please pause this episode and send the link of this episode to someone you know that you think would enjoy this content. Really appreciate you spreading the word. This is how we grow. We're not a Joe Rogan. We don't have big, massive advertising budgets, but we absolutely want to grow. We want to get the learnings from all of these episodes out to as wide of an audience as possible, and we need your help to do it. Thank you, and now back to your listening.
Ooh, good question. Most of the times, actually, no. We are relying on various platforms to provide the source of truth, and we'd be the end customer experience. There's a huge return on investment case around the end customer experience being able to be digitized outside of emails, outside of SMS, outside of apps. But yeah, more often than not, what we're seeing is similar to that sort of connector that you've created. There are a lot of platforms out there that are connectors. More often than not, hard to find. I think they're very industry specific due to various regulations. Let's just say pharmaceutical, for example. And what they do is every month, what we see, or sometimes every week, they'll upload SKU level promotions, or they'll upload sort of dollar value promotions as codes. And they'll provide those codes to us and the brand, for which the brand will pay for. And then we'll generate a mobile wallet pass for every single one of those.
And so that might be connected to that brand's mobile app, right? So that might be a tab in their mobile app, which is, hey, here's your wallet, here's all your coupons, here's all the promotions, here's everything in here. And you're providing the underlying functionality within that app, that holistic mobile app. You're providing the digital wallet service for that app.
Sometimes it's an app. Very rarely, like maybe 1 in 5 times, will we be integrating with an app like that.
Wow.
But it'll more be towards EDMs or digital advertising. So think about how many times that, let's just say your ASICs or your New Balance, and you fill out your details to win a trip somewhere, or you vote for something because they want some product data and customer feedback. At the end of that experience, there's nothing really that comes after that. It's thank you for submitting your form. We'll take your data. That's it. But it's the ability to issue that promotion from there is what we're seeing as like a huge, like niche down volume up gap around data activation, around one-touch promotions, and then using the mobile wallet to feed that in with the help of your ISVs or your GSIs that are gluing things together in the back end for larger retailers. But yeah, Shopify is making that a lot easier. And so is Square and a lot of these open API platforms.
And so for you guys, your customers are primarily, I'm guessing, like the people that pay you for your platform and your plumbing. It's either brands or retailers, or would it be, I know that obviously you work with digital agencies, ISVs, point of sales, technology vendors, etc., because you need to be able to integrate into their systems. But in terms of who pays you and where you clip the ticket along the way for your services, it would be the brands or the retailers primarily where you guys would make your money. Is that right?
Yeah, usually. Or through ISVs that are selling to brands and retailers. So there's always that tail of, do I spend 3 or 6 months educating a single brand or an ISV that has 100 brands underneath their belt? So it's a balancing act a lot of the time.
And so when you say ISV, that would be somebody like a point of sale, like a Retail Express, for example, that maybe will want to integrate your digital wallet technology into their core point of sale platform. Is that the vector?
Yeah, most of the times it's an agency that does the integration, but a lot of the times it is the point of sale. We've dealt with companies that own their own point of sale, own their own brands, own their own retailers, as well as the platforms underneath them. So yeah, it really depends.
And are you providing the interface for the marketers to live in as well? So that they're creating the promotions, they're creating the coupons, are they doing all of that in a web interface, a Litecard web interface where they're actually generating all that stuff? Or is that usually a scenario where that's handled elsewhere and then that's integrated by APIs into the Litecard system?
Yeah, 50-50 actually. So a lot of the times we're setting up what we call a control center for the end customer or the end brand. And let's just say I have an ISV. An ISV has a control center that they can manage, their 100 brands on as well. So sub master accounts is what we call them. And then within the account, you can send out, schedule your notifications, see all your history. You can choose what type of notifications if you want to send out, like email, SMS, push notification, and then see your statistics back in there. That sort of dashboard as well. We feed scan data into the dashboard too from point of sale, and then we plug and play various point of sale into that dashboard. But at the end of the day, I think so many brands out there, it's a lot more simple than that. Brands go, how many mobile wallet passes can I send out? How many notifications can I send out? How many people are going to click through? How many people will click through and purchase? What's my average order value? I multiply all those things together, and that's my estimated return on investment.
And so let's say I receive an EDM, I receive an email, and I want to accept that coupon effectively, or that offer, but I open it up on my desktop, but I really need it to be in my mobile. Does it basically say, hey, open this email in your mobile device and apply the coupon to your digital wallet? So what does that user experience look like when we're trying to effectively activate a customer with one of our promotions, but we need to be able to get it into their digital wallet? And in fact, we need to actually get the Litecard wallet loaded onto their mobile device before we can start loading anything into it. So what does that whole entire user journey usually look like if it starts from an EDM?
Yeah, so the EDM will say, hey, Jason, thanks for being a loyal local brewing co member, or on our EDM, did you know that we've got a $10 off voucher this Anzac Day in Australia? Claim it at any BWS or like large, let's just say retailer. And then it'll say you'll have an add to Apple Wallet or add to Google Wallet button. You click that button and it goes straight into your mobile wallet. If you're on a desktop, our code detects whether you're on a desktop, and then it serves a QR code. So you scan it and then it goes straight into your mobile wallet on your phone.
Wow! So I just scan the EDM on my screen with my mobile device.
Literally. And then the best part is every time you go past a BWS, you'll get a notification. Anything around new products releases, new campaign releases, you get a notification as well. You can double opt in and double opt out. So you can turn off all your notifications on mobile wallet, or you can turn off your notifications within a single mobile wallet pass. And even by location, when you walk past the BW, you'll get that notification as well. So it's interesting, the sort of new engagement and how that's going to equal to new transactional volume and value for a lot of clients and brands.
And then I guess also built into that, you can have expiry dates for the promotions, all that sort of stuff, automatically expires it out of the digital wallet. I see you guys as more of a middleware platform than I think of you as a middleware platform as opposed to a standalone technology. So I see you almost as an iPaaS for digital wallets. That's what it feels like to me. Obviously, there's still some secondary and tertiary integrations that still need to happen into and out of your system. But for the digital wallet rail component, you are the middleware. You are the mediator. You are the one that's providing the services all around the injection, retrieval, redemption, expiration, all that of all those promotions.
Hey, we're back.
You're back now, but I can't see you for some reason.
Okay, here we go.
There we go. So we're still recording, so that's good. Let's just pick up back where we left off, which is I see you guys as a middleware tool, a middleware platform, glue that ties all these systems together. You still got to have integrations into and out of your system, but certainly the plumbing, it feels like you provide the plumbing between the brands, the retailers, and primarily the digital wallet services on the Apple or the Android platforms, primarily.
Yes, I definitely see that. And I think that's why a lot of people go, Brian, what do you actually do? And that's how we identify as a digital infrastructure. It's the best way to think about it.
And you were saying that you provide either the brands can have their own back office systems that are generating all these coupon codes, the discounts, the promotions, the QR codes, etc., or they can create all of these and create the specific campaigns within your interface that then on an outward integration can be integrated with their system. So you can either be the primary single source of truth of the campaign, or you can be the slave to external systems that are creating the campaigns.
Yeah, that's right. And I think we're probably 50-50, one or the other. Mainly for the larger brands, we're ingesting their promotions or codes because I think they've got so many other outputs of or connections into their ecosystem.
Right. And you're effectively a new, it's weird because I hesitate to call you a unique channel, because at the end of the day, the channel that they might redeem through is oftentimes physical. It's a physical retail channel. So that's already its own channel. It's just a way of consuming. It's a unique way of consuming a given promotion, right?
Yeah, it's really unlocking your mobile wallet customer experience. That's the way that we talk about it. Because you got apps, you have SMS, you have paid media, you have emails, but there is another way, and it's extremely effective, especially when you think about how much energy and time and effort is going into supporting retail stores or physical stores. It's a huge KPI for so many brands out there right now.
And without your system, so let's say a brand doesn't have Litecard as that digital wallet experience, would typically they have either a barcode, like let's say they're running an EDM campaign and this isn't being plumbed through Litecard, would they historically have had simply a QR code or a barcode or something like that embedded in the email, and then they would go up to the point of sale and they would scan it at the point of sale or something like that, and then that would trigger off the promotion to be applied or the discount to be applied in the point of sale system instead of having to type in a discount code, or maybe they had a coupon code with a number that was in the email, and then they just read it out, and then they manually type in the coupon code into the point of sale, and that qualifies them for the discount. So is this effectively automating what people were doing via mainly EDMs historically?
Yeah, and I think like the biggest difference is how many people you can capture, right? Once you do get an offer via an EDM, now a lot of the times people forget it goes into their social folder, nothing happens after that. But if you think about now, what a lot of brands are saying at the moment is the most expensive marketing media is someone's lock screen, right? And having it inside the mobile wallet rather than just having one email that it's okay, I'm opening it, I'm getting like a barcode or QR code. Maybe I'll take a screenshot, but probably forget about it 6 to 8 months later. Compared to now, a brand has the ability to educate and engage you and deliver content that's personalized, straight through your lock screen. You don't have to you don't have to download the app. You don't have to worry about data security because it's in the same place you've got your bank cards. It's a huge opportunity, especially when you look at like the media spend and the EDM or the SMS spend for brands just try and engage and reinvigorate people, right? Now they know that someone's got a buyer intent. They know when they've consumed a certain part of media, where they're going to consume it, what else they've purchased, and then strategize around that.
And is there any system today, or do you foresee any system on the horizon where a customer gives a one-off approval to access their wallet system and via their phone number, for example, their mobile number, and then you can push down at any time you have a new promotion available and it's maybe time limited, or there's a coupon that needs to be pushed into their wallet for them to consume at point of sale, to where you can just auto-populate their wallet at any time with any promotion that you have available, and then that it's always there. It's always available. The latest, the greatest option, the greatest coupon code, the latest of everything is automatically populated directly into their digital wallet. Is there any technology out there that, I don't know, maybe it gets pushed in via SMS and then it automatically populates their wallet with the coupon or whatever it might be? What kind of, because at the end of the day, if I want to engage with a brand and I don't want to necessarily have to inject from an EDM every single time these new, or accept these promotions via EDM every single time, right? I want to just give a blanket approval. Yep, you got a promotion, shove it into my wallet, and then if I'm there, then I'll get a push notification that, hey, there's this new coupon in my wallet or whatever it might be, and I'm off to the races. So, and then obviously when I'm geo-fenced near that location, then boom, it triggers off a notification. Hey, cool, you're 20 meters away from the store and there's a promotion happening right now. The coupon code's already in your wallet. Feel free to go in and take advantage of this straight away. So where are we at in terms of authorization of access for brands to our digital wallet?
No, this is actually something that was talked about yesterday in the office with a client. And I think the initial penetration is always the hardest part, right? Brand growth methodology is always, if someone buys 1 can of Coke every day or sort of every week, they're probably going to continue to buy it next week. But it's the hardest part is always just to get the first person buying that can of Coke, right? And so what we're helping these brands do is increase the effectiveness of their light buy strategy. And light buy meaning that I'm a first-time customer, or I'm a customer that's returning after many years. And the way that we do that is by removing all of the friction, removing the friction from SMS, email, apps, like flooded advertising on social media and everywhere else as well. And we've always had a dream where we can enable a brand to issue a mobile wallet pass that's a coupon, but this coupon can turn out to be a whole lot more as well. Imagine a coupon turned out to be various offers, but also then evolved into a loyalty card. after using it once. And then that is a medium to distribute all those personalized offers on behalf of the brand or the retailer. And we're going one step closer towards that dream of now the retailer knows exactly what I need next week. So I'm going to go back to them because they've got the best deals for me. I no longer need to shop around. And that's the real customer loyalty. It's that engage and understand and retain. But also that there is a pretty common practice out there where you've got first time offers, like when you're on a website and it's 10% off, but then they start to personalize these offers after a while. They need to learn, brands need to learn about people to do that. And then they have to deliver that in a way that's seamless. So that's exactly our vision. I think a lot more brands are becoming receptive and retailers receptive to that idea.
So that pathway to being able to auto-populate a wallet, you're not going to be populating that directly into the wallet. But what you may do is you may have a virtual loyalty card, which is in the wallet all the time. And so at will, against that customer's account, you can populate against that loyalty ID. You can then say, okay, on your loyalty card this week, you've got these different options, these different promotions available to you as part of being a member of our loyalty program. They're time limited, etc. But when you go in and you swipe this digital loyalty card, now you qualify as long as what you bring up to the counter qualifies under one of these promotions, then you're going to automatically get this promotion at point of sale. So is that the pathway to being able to have almost like permanent access to someone's wallet is, hey, let's create a loyalty program that creates a virtual loyalty card, which is permanently loaded in the wallet?
Yeah, I totally think so. It's a huge opportunity, right? The mobile wallet customer experience is extremely undertapped, and there are a lot of things that brands can do with it. And the exciting part is that it's going to evolve. Like the mobile wallet ecosystem has been around for about 10 years or if not more, but it's only really hit critical mass adoption on the bell curve in the last few years, thanks to COVID. And what's really interesting is like Google Wallet's only released in Vietnam, Malaysia, and Thailand last year. And I think there's still so many other countries like Indonesia, Philippines, and Cambodia that are still coming this year and the next few years. And to give you like an example of the market size, in Australia, 155,000 retail brands. In Southeast Asia, top 9 countries, 3.5 million.
Wow.
So, yeah,
that's crazy. That's a huge. Now, speaking of countries, currently, do you only support Australia or Australia, New Zealand? And is it your vision to expand globally ASAP? Who's next on your hit list in terms of country support, system support, technology support, etc.?
We're worldwide. So we do have clients and ISVs out in the UK, France, Malaysia, Southeast Asia, and New Zealand and Australia, as well as working through like a fair few ISVs and prospects in the States as well. But our next goal is to land into Southeast Asia due to that volume size and timing as well. Like the fact that Google Wallet's only releasing there, it's a really interesting space. And because we're an APAC sort of region, it's not too far from us and the time zone is okay. But yeah, we're definitely looking at moving headquarters into Southeast Asia in the next few months, early next year latest, and beginning to really dig our roots deep in there.
And 2 other questions that immediately leap to mind. What's on your radar for your platform, for your technology over the next 12, 18 months? What's high priority for you to add to the platform in terms of functionality that you don't do today? Or what is new functionality that is coming to, say, Google Wallet, Apple Wallet, that you now are going to be able to incorporate into your system to bring some enhanced functionality? And then secondarily, where does blockchain and crypto fit into your plans, if at all?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I think I'll answer the first one first. In terms of priority, I think we're at a stage of the business now where we're a VC-backed platform and we've started to hit our strides and we understand product market fit, niche down, volume up. So I think the next stages will be more access to market, growth phase, scale up. But there's always still best habits that we could be implementing within the business and how we roll out our solution for brands. And collecting like a lot more integrations and having the ISV partnership is big for us. I think the ability to educate and engage partners in a way a few steps ahead of what we're doing now would be really good. There are new features being released inside the mobile wallet platforms, although you can't really see it as an end customer from infrastructure point of view, from data privacy point of view. We are dependent on the mobile wallet ecosystem. If you're an app, you'd be dependent on the App Store, right? In terms of crypto and blockchain, we do have, I think, 2 or 3 clients that do run crypto and blockchain programs for brands, and they tokenize certain things. I'm not too into it and understanding exactly how they do, what they do. But I think there's definitely going to be a space for us to partner with a lot of Web3 organizations out there, because from what we're seeing, like some recent trends have been, how can you create brand value and bridge them between Web3 and Web2? And a lot of that ties deeply into engagement as well as customer experience. So, yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know the answer to this. Can you store NFTs? Not that NFTs are a thing anymore, but they'll probably see some form of recurrence at some point. Can you store NFTs in a digital wallet? I'm assuming you can.
Yeah, we definitely can. I think you can store a lot of things in a digital wallet, but it comes down to like why and what for, right?
Yes.
At the end of the day, like I think NFTs a lot of the times are numbers, and then specific numbers that mean something on a certain ledger. Same thing with coupons, specific numbers that mean something on a certain ledger. So although I might not have the answer now, but it seems like hand in hand, they're quite similar.
Yeah, no question about it. No question about it. And how do you guys make your money? What, presumably, you primarily charging brands and retailers for the services? Is it on a campaign basis? Is it a SaaS platform fee, like a monthly fee? Is it a subscription model of some variety? How do you make your money when you're engaging with these brands and providing services to them?
Yeah, so it's a usage fee. A lot of the times when brands, let's just say you're a large retail brand in Australia and you've got 3 million members on your database, probably not large like for overseas, but comparatively for Australia, it's quite a tier 1 brand. You more often than not don't have 3 million people engaging in your EDMs, right? You've probably got 250,000 in the last month and 750,000 unique members in the last 6 months. So we charge based on usage. So the amount of mobile wallet passes that get sent out, and then depending on the nature of the mobile wallet passes, as well as the volume, you've got different rates. We charge that we bill that monthly at pro rata. So they're not paying like a huge sum at the start of each month. They're paying like bit by bit each month, and it's pay as you grow. So it's worked out really well.
Very nice.
ISVs, we basically do a profit split model with the exact same.
Oh yeah, profit share. Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense. And do you feel like this is? It sounds like you're venture backed. I'm guessing like Blackbird or somebody that is all Australian VC backed.
No, they are Australian VC founders and sort of partners, but they're based out of Southeast Asia, so Singapore and Thailand. And yeah, they're Australians. They've moved over there, and I think a lot of institutional investors in Southeast Asia are looking at Australian startups that do have the ability to collaborate with fintech or are deeply embedded into fintech, because of most recent stories such as Afterpay, right?
Yeah. Look, I think it feels like the whole buy now, pay later thing was in hindsight, very much a flash in the pan, and they're being featureized out of existence as opposed to being standalone platforms. Yeah, it's an interesting thing between the crypto implosion, FTX, and the implosion of buy now, pay later. I tell you, fintech has got a bloody nose after the last few years, that's for sure. So it's good to see people bringing really practical applications of digital wallet technology to market. And that's the bucket that I would put you in. This is super practical stuff. It's just how can we remove as much friction as possible for our customers to engage in the campaigns and promotions that we're already going to be running anyway? How do we make it as easy as possible for those customers to consume those offers that we're making into the market and get the redemption, basically increase the redemption rate of these offers that we're already making into the market by reducing the friction of the customer being able to consume them in the first place. So anything that reduces that friction between brand and customer has got to be a good thing.
Absolutely. And if you can imagine how many brands are there out there and how many campaigns they're pushing per year, it's crazy.
Yeah, no question about that. No question. Brian, this has been a fantastic conversation. I've learned an absolute ton about digital wallets. I am by no stretch of the imagination, as you can tell with some of my dumb questions, I'm definitely not a genius when it comes to digital wallets. I'm definitely not the expert, and I've learned a whole ton today. Now, as we come down to the end of our time together, this is where I get to flip the script, hand the microphone over to you, let you ask me one question, any question you like. Brian Pham from Litecard, what is your question for me today?
Okay, awesome. What is your most exciting retail technology hypothesis that you're going to have in the next few years? What is the one piece of technology that's going to really change the game that you feel is in its early stages at the moment, up and coming?
Yeah, that's such a great question. I think that China in particular is absolutely leading the way here. I think when we look at the Chinese retail space, and my wife's Asian and Chinese Vietnamese, and so the usage of WeChat in Asia, but China in particular, and the way that it is being embedded into almost every single retail experience. We've seen recently the news out of Amazon that they're basically canning their just walk out technology because it's too expensive, it's too hard to manage, too risky, too much theft. They've really struggled with that. And so I think China, in many respects, is light years ahead of the West and even the rest of Asia. China is just so far ahead, where you can pay with a face scan, you can pay with a handprint, fingerprint, you can pay with NFC on your phone, where you literally can just walk out, where you have self-scan in the stores, basically into a digital cart on your phone, to where when you walk out, then it effectively just debits your card or debits your payment via WeChat, actually. And WeChat is the digital wallet of the entire country. And I think that there is consolidation coming in the West. That the biggest issue here is that WeChat just so heavily dominates that they can be that nexus. They can be a universal payments platform right throughout the whole of China. We don't have that in the West. We don't have any one mobile platform. I guess maybe Meta would be the one that could possibly be that kind of all-in-one app. When we look at Facebook, when we look at Instagram, when we look at WhatsApp, I think they could do it, but they're even struggling, because what they're doing is they're effectively looking at potentially becoming a bank, which is effectively what they would need to be able to pull all this off and create banking rails, or have very deep tentacles into banking rails to be able to create the payments, the peer-to-peer payment model. But for me, there is just still so much friction in the retail experience just of paying. It's painful to go through the checkout process and wait in line. And now that I live in Mexico, I'm feeling it even worse, because retail here is even further behind than it is in the United States. And you can literally wait in a line in the supermarket for an hour. You can literally wait for an hour. Because the population and just because the customer service level here varies wildly between. And so it's hard, it's painful, it's expensive. And I think there's a lot of room for physical retail experience innovation. I think that's really where, and that's why I do the vast majority, like 95% of my supermarket shopping online here in Mexico, because they all do delivery. And I can just go online, I can bank my purchase, I can pay online, and then I get it delivered to my door, and it costs $3 to have it delivered to my door. So why would I go and deal with the pain in the store when I can just have everything delivered? And yeah, it's an interesting one. It's an interesting one. I don't have a 100% clear answer on this, but there's just, in almost every single phase of the physical retail shopping journey, there's pain. And I think there's just still massive opportunity to fix that.
No, I totally agree. I couldn't imagine 1 hour in a grocery store. That's crazy.
Yeah, it does not always that way. 30 minutes to 45 minutes is pretty common waiting in line at the supermarket here, just because there's just the demand is so high, and it depends on the day of the week you go to. But most Mexicans will work 6 days a week, so Sundays are the days you don't go, because that's when everybody goes. So yeah, it's an interesting one. And I know in Southeast Asia, 6-day work weeks are common too. It's similar to Southeast Asia in that regard. But yeah, I just think that the physical retail experience is fraught with challenges still to this day.
Totally agree. No, thanks for the insight.
No, that sounds good, man. Listen, the final thing I would say on that front is B2B physical retail. Yeah, it's even further behind traditional D2C and B2C physical retail. So probably even more opportunity there than in just standard D2C, B2C. Look, man, I've really enjoyed this. I've learned a ton. It's been a fantastic chat. How do people get a hold of you? I'll drop Litecard links and your LinkedIn profile in the show notes. Other than that, how do you like people to get a hold of you and have a chat about Litecard and what you can do for them?
Yeah, absolutely. Just feel free to send an email. You can find our email on our website, hello@litecard, litecard.com. But Jason, it's been amazing. Thank you for having me. I've learned a lot as well. And yeah, look forward to listening to the rest of your podcast.
Are you a B2B or D2C e-commerce merchant? Then head over to greenwoodconsulting.net to learn how we can help you scale your business.